What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here with the Distance Boxing 101 Edition 4. Today, I'm brought to you by Joe Habib.
You're mine, and we belong together. Yes, we belong together for eternity.
New Kids on the Block and the Backdoor Boys, the Backstreet Boys, making a comeback in 2011. Be sure to get your tickets. Also brought to you by me, Julian Williams, here at the Distance Boxing 101 Edition 4. Alright, so once again, Wladimir Klitschko, David Haye is off for the second time. The first time they were supposed to fight was June 20th of 2009, and the fight has been pretty much hyped up for the last couple years since both fighters have called each other out. So now David Haye said he's done with Wladimir. Vladimir says Vladimir still wants to fight him later on. Who knows what's going on? Who knows what's going to happen in 2011? We all know it's supposed to be the final year of David Haye's career. According to him, I'm using air quotes for this, but overall, just think about it. This fight, when you look at it on paper, could have been one of the most lucrative heavyweight bouts from overseas in history. When you think about it all on paper, just look at the styles involved. You got two guys that just knock people out, and both of them together, and both fighters from overseas, this would have been, huge. This would have been, bigger than, most of the heavyweight fights that they have in America between the contenders. But damn, it kind of sucks that this fight was not finalized and made. Even though yesterday they were saying that the fight was a near done deal. What does suck though is that we're probably gonna have to watch Wladimir Klitschko fight Derek Chisora on that lagging ass ESPN3 stream. And Lord knows, if I watch another stream of that, I am going to die of boredom or something. I don't know. But Lord knows I do not want to see that fight on that lagging ass stream. And HBO, man, they could have just pretty much bought over David Haye fights, man. They like, if you notice this though, David Haye fights on the same day as most HBO fights. His fight with Ruiz was on the same day as I believe Hopkins and Jones 2, that fuckery of a card. His fight with Ali Harrison was on the same day as the top-ranked Manny Pacquiao. His other one, his matchup against I believe his matchup against Barrett was on the same day as Jones Calzaghe. His matchup against Valuev was the same day as Dawson versus Johnson 2, the rematch. So why isn't HBO buying over the rights of David Haye fights? I never understood that. And it's a continuous pattern to where he fights on the same day as HBO cards. And probably his next fight, which will more than likely be against Ruslan Shagayev, will be on the same day as an HBO card. To be honest, I think it's going to be on the same day as an HBO card. Possibly it's going to conflict with a Klitschko fight, more than likely. Who knows? But goddamn, this fight could have been hyped up much bigger than it was back in 2008. They could have started hyping this fight up, but they didn't. Nobody bought over the rights to David Haye fights. And it could have started in February, I believe 20th of 2008, during the unification, IBF, WBA, and WBC, between David Haye and Enzo Maccarinelli. That's when it could have started, with that second round knockout. They could have started. It's weird because HBO approved of David Haye. David Haye, and they have now this different approval list. So Wladimir Klitschko and David Haye, they're supposed to fight June 20th of 2009. And the fight's being hyped up by all kinds of, boxing pundits and all kinds of boxing fans and hell, everybody in the YouTube community at the time when it was starting to rise in 2009 were talking about this fight, and everybody had all these different opinions about it. But 2 weeks before the scheduled bout, David Haye pulled out citing a back injury, when really he wasn't going to get any money for the fight from reports that I've read that summer. Quite honestly, I do honestly believe that David Haye should have been one of those fighters that HBO brought over when they started to have this new next generation bullshit thing, when they got Chris Arreola. They got the Shrek looking guy, weighs 300 pounds in between fights. When they got Chris Arreola, when they got Victor Ortiz, when they got Juan Diaz, Kermit Cintron, Jermaine Taylor. they could have brought over David Haye along with these guys. I'm like, hell, the guy has a pretty good following. He has a lot of fans. Me included, I'm a fan. He talks a lot of trash. He could bring a lot of money to the network and a lot of viewers. And hell, he's a heavyweight. He says he wants to clean out the division. Put him against some American heavyweights that have had exposure on HBO. Put him against the Hasim Rahman, even though he's a bum now, and I've never really been the biggest Hasim Rahman fan. Put him against Hasim Rahman. Put him against even the David Tua. Put him against Areola. Put him against one of these heavyweights that have had exposure on HBO. Put him against one of these guys and have him have a showing, but also at the same time prepare him for a bout with Wladimir Klitschko if you want this fight on your network and you want it to be a huge fight.
Notice that this is not nighttime right here at this point in the video, because I actually recorded some parts Monday before I got sick, and now I'm recording the rest of it today. But anyway, I'm kind of off focus a little bit right now at this point of the video, but I'm just going to end the video right here. But basically June 20th was the original scheduled bout between Wladimir Klitschko and David Haye of 2009. And Ruslan Chagayev was the man who stepped in for Wladimir Klitschko, and coincidentally, Ruslan Chagayev is more than likely going to be stepping in for David Haye. But honestly, Ruslan Chagayev is kind of the innocent bystander of the whole situation, because Ruslan Chagayev basically took the beating that David Haye was supposed to receive on June 20th of 2009. Something with Ruslan Chagayev is his style is pretty much tailor-made for Wladimir Klitschko. He's a southpaw, and Vladimir's bread and butter punch is that straight right hand. And he kept catching it. He kept him at the end of the jab. He kept catching that straight right hand. Couldn't protect himself from it. So now Ruslan Chagayev is going to get the beating that Wladimir Klitschko was supposed to receive from David Haye. I really feel sorry for Ruslan Chagayev, to be honest, because he's basically an innocent bystander, but he's pretty much getting his ass beat for other people. But overall, it is what it is. I think that the fight could still happen. Both fighters saying that they're done, whatever. I still think the fight could happen. Who knows? Maybe it's a tactic, because this is nothing like the Mayweather Pacquiao. With the heavyweight division, more people, or I guess have more heartstrings regarding the heavyweight division, and they can tolerate, and fans can tolerate it for a little bit. But it's only going to be a while until there's nobody left but Haye and Wladimir. So anyway, it is what it is. So hopefully the fight comes off sometime in the near future before David Haye retires. But anyway, guys, that was Distance Box 101. Join me next time for my next segment. Who is Sergey Zinzurek? Anyway, guys, take it easy. Peace.